morning everyone, I hope you are very good. So I'm Veronique and I'm back with the new videos on my channel Scope International Society. So today I'm going to speak about the experience that I got at the Coca-Cola Midi in southern France during the period when I established my placement years. So it's going to be focused on what is the role as a vendor scheduling. So a vendor scheduling is responsible for managing and buying the materials through the supplier and also controlling the stock agree and the stock levels and proposing via subsystem the proposals of the suitable orders and provide such information to the suppliers. So the purchasing volume must be established and attributed and accurate to the stakeholders. So let me start it. In a regular day, I work with the subsystem and I control the stock management, the stock out, the provision of stock, estimation of stocks, requirements. Then I establish a list of I extract from the subsystems and then I just send that to the supplier so that we can have the same informations and agree of the volume that will be used for the materials. So I have a really particular example that I have had accounted, which is always pushing and controlling your pushers order, always pushing and control your stock. When your stock control is reliable, it means the productions can meet the need. So I counted the regular day to control as a reference of the following materials. These materials is we're calling that the cell. This is the example of the cell. It demonstrates, it is a small article like this, and it's actually closing all the materials, all the handy materials such as ABC and the packaging that the Coca-Cola Midi Coca-Cola company using is actually to establish that this is the brand of Coca-Cola. So any goods that has been handled, any good that has been packed is actually using this cell, which is actually demonstrate that this is a regional CC company brand. So I regularly check my materials scheduling through subsystems and I figured out that I have no enough stock. I was stock out. I actually have a stock cover for at least 1 month, but we really need a high volume and estimation through the stock control to make the estimations of the estimation of the productions and also make an estimation of the following 3 to 6 months, about 1 year. And I see that through that more than 1 year I have been able to do the provisions of estimation forecasting, stock control forecasting for about 3 years. And then found out that the stock was not enough because this cell was really in demand. It's a cell that is actually demonstrate the brand of Coca-Cola. Unfortunately, through the forecasting, the stock control inventory, I actually not manage it to meet the need of the projections, as it was not a material that we're gonna check because when the good has been, because it's very small material, so it's come in big pallets, and this big pallet can cover for years of 3 years or more than that basically. And unfortunately I didn't check it because on the system it was not a material that always come up basically. So unfortunately that time I just act like the man just came to say to me, oh Veronique, the reference of the sale, it doesn't have enough market. We need it. We need this we need this item. It's really important for our ingredients. We need it for to demonstrate a brand. This is a cell. This is actually a brand that we need to use in the item that we need to use in. So as she said that I have to check on the systems. I have to check on the system the following informations, which was the descriptions, the full descriptions of the materials, the supplier who actually produce the item for us, controlling the stock forecasting, the stock control, the stock available, and plan of the productions that has been planned, and as well the productions forecasting and the plan of orders that we actually the company needed. And I found out that into the stock control, we do not have enough stock to cover the plan of productions. So the mission starts in this way. The plan of productions could just cover for 1 week. So it was unfavorable for us, especially me, because I had to carry on that, and because it was really a big productions for a big customer. So I had the huge responsibility in my hands, even if the material I didn't realize that it was really important, but it was actually demonstrate the brand of CC companies, Coca-Cola company. So what I had done so far, I emailed the supply, and I estimate the forecasting that could cover 3 years at least. And I had the feedback from them who said, we cannot provide such a material for only 3,000, but we could only cover for we cannot cover less than 10,000 units. So we so it means that the 3,000 that I've been covered for 3 years was not approved by the supplier. I should have make an estimation of 10,000 units so that it could cover much more than that. That's how into this certification and into the contract that is work. And it say in that materials, it could be it could be produced without the CCC, but for demonstrate the brand of CCM, this cell must have the C.C, so it's demonstrate the mark of Coca-Cola company. And the supplier send me back an email and say, what we can do, we can produce the 3,000 units with that in market. So by the time that you say that, I just realized that okay, we have one item in stock which is can cover for at least 1 years. So if I estimate the estimation for 3 years in this total of 3,000 sell for cover three years instead of 10,000 as the system could say it. But I must have done for 10,000 so that we can have the mark done, the brand of Coca-Cola company into the cell. So as it could not do that, it actually would estimate the pricing. So according to the 1,000 item in stock, it said that it should have provided the costs and everything. So it provided me the cost, but it said it could produce only 10,000 in mark for a certain amount. So after that, as normally we should have this sell with the CCC, the brand of Coca-Cola. That's how it is. So I had to now to make a big tender, which means that I've been looking around Sound in France, a potential printer who could be able to print such CCC um, to the cells so that we can be able to represent the brand of Coca-Cola. So I had to find out. So I had to call them. I called them. I look around the locations of the different printer. So as we were in Toulon, in southern France, I look in locations that was near Coca-Cola, so that in term I was thinking about in term of transportations, in term of shipment, in term of cost. So I just had to look which kind of printer could be able to produce and print this silly on time. So I found 10 partnership printers, and financially, the company could be financially, if we not cover the productions by having this, it could have an effect because the materials, the ingredient was really expensive. So even it was small item, it was the main key for making the cell, the ingredient be represent as a original of CCC Coca-Cola company. Then, as I said, I've been looking around 10 potential printer, and I choose one printer, especially in the headquarter in Marseille. inside the flask because it was fitting to our requests and our demands. So it could print in quicker as our request was very quicker. So it could print for us very quick as soon as possible. So then estimate the I estimate this. I say as a supplier, CCM supply, like we have a contract with them, could produce the 10,000 with that mark. I presume that it doesn't make any sense if a supplier dispatch to Coca-Cola, Midi, but instead of that, it could dispatch the good to the new um, printer in Marseille. So I had to arrange that when it produce the following quantity, the 10,000 in mark of sale, it dispatched to the printer that we have been selected in Marseille. So that in terms of lead time for meeting the transportations and in terms of cost, we estimate in terms of cost. Because if we could deliver it to Coca-Cola, it's me we were gonna receive the good and then we're gonna arrange the transportation from Toulon to Marseille. That doesn't make sense at all. Especially that supplier it was not from France, it was from Spain. So it was really important to find out where to collect to make this transportation as soon as possible. So I request our supplier from Coca, our supplier the contract that we have our supplier to dispatch straight away to Marseille, to the headquarters to Marseille. So they received that, and we set a period at least of 1 month to establish the marking. As it was really an emergency, I was really pushing the new supplier to make this printed as soon as possible. So fortunately, we have arranged the transportation. So our supplier dispatched the good to in Marseille, and I had to arrange the payment, had to arrange the deadline. Fortunately, the printer could actually providing to us printing us very quick. It didn't take much for him to make it took him less than 1 week basically to make the process of the of the printing. So the only challenge that we had is as it was not a new potential mark because Coca-Cola has the original printer to the contract. But when you look on the history of subsystem, you must find out the new information in return which have not been saved in recording to the system. That's was it was main key to find out a new supplier which is been printed the mark of CCC through this cell. Fortunately, CCM actually received on time the goods and has been dispatched to our warehouse. During that time, it was so stressful because every day we're talking about, we have different departments who actually always come and ask me questions regarding this issue. I had the warehouse management who called me, the waste rental management who called me and said, I'm wondering if the good has been received because we do not have any information regarding that. Fortunately, we found out that in the warehousing, the good has been printed, it has been dispatched. It's just because as the supplier, the new supplier was not again um, recording on the system. When this happened like that, this happened that the subsystem and OTM actually recording all such informations. In this following situation is we receive our goods on times and we could produce and we could cover our good for long term times. In this case, I mean the story for this is really relies to CCM that they need to have a list of potential of printer who can be able to produce, be able to respond as soon as possible for the printer, or arrange a high level of productions through the actual supply. Because as I said, we have a supplier sign a contract with them, but it could not only do 10,000, it could do much more than 10,000. You could not just make 1,000. He has said that he made 10,000 for establish the markets. So the brand of CCM, 10,000 it was less. So that's why he put a mark. So we have to find and as hosting a new supplier to establish the CCC. In this case, in this story, the Coca-Cola actually saved record this new supply through the system, and arrange that to have like a potential contract with this supplier. In this story, as the founder studying drama placement years, I really realized that it was not just about controlling your stock and then providing the actual stock to the through your supplier. It involved internal control, internal considerations, such as understanding of the production plant, acknowledge the different ingredients that has been planned for the productions, and always be in communication with the different department. Because as I said, in my stock, they say that we have especially a certain stock we can cover in, and especially this material does not come up all the time. It's already a stock who's been there for a period of time, for a long period of time. So when the stock has ended, this just make alarm to establish that in this case that happened is already happened to one of the employees before me. So it was a recording on the system, and I recording all the informations, and I create a link regarding that to a next one to alarm them. And I propose that the Coca-Cola must have a list of potential of printer in case that, because the potential one want 10,000, he want 10,000 to be printed with the mark of say less than 10,000 is in mark. So it means that you have to find on your own the printer, which printer that I found in Marseille, and that's how it is. As a random scheduling, I believe that I accomplished a very good example. So I'm going to give you, I'll send the videos regarding that I'm going to find on YouTube, so that you can know what is the job of vendor scheduling and understanding the impact of the stock control internal organizations. What is its challenge? Why subsystem is a technology that's really, really important to know, and understanding the impact that subsystem has within other organizations. Because subsystem make the consolidation of all departments to be linked and to have the data recording through it. In this, the data must be accurate according to the information that physically appear, physically in the warehouse, physically into the system. It has to be similar. So in this case, when I'm controlling, you must control it every day, and you must plan your plan of productions. You must plan that your forecasting meet the need of the big productions plant. Because there are some season when the demand of productions for ingredients or for liquid is higher, especially is the Coca-Cola company is every day is the production is higher. It has always have a high demand. But there's a season such as such as the summertime, you have a very high level. The variations of the curve, the variation is very, very changing, and it's very high. So that's presumed that the cell could not cover for it, so we needed more of it. So planning the forecasting provision for the future actually anticipate to have such challenge, and also have a list or a lot of potential of supply printer which is can be capable to meet the need of Coca-Cola. So this is what I'm going to talk today. For any questions regarding that, I'm really pleased to talking about. I was talking about the placement experience that I had in Coca-Cola. So it is not just doing placement years that I said just did the placement years. It's the placement years who give me the capability to work after to the new organizations. And such issue gym was not fixed in one day. This took like at least a month to be fixed. So it's just to say the impact that controlling your forecasting cost, your forecasting productions, and your forecasting control, inventory control of your project, it's very important. And it's impacting the supply chain, it's impacting the cost, it's impacting the relationship, it's impacting the accuracy, it's impacting the renewal of contracts. In this case, I had an advice from the planning team regarding this. I bring the solution. They request me to always keeping the document between the supplier, the actual supplier which has been made, the mark of the cells, and the warehouse, and recording the information through the systems, making a traceability of what happened, and all the certificate of analysis and statement of shipment. For example, for this cell, we have a certificate of analysis. So I just covered the information because it was so much confidential. Is to just to say that we have the certificate of analysis. So it means that it requires me to be in communication with the quality, the KSH, the quality department to establish this. And following that, also have the BL, so the LTR. So it's a document of transportation that demonstrates that the good has been delivering, and it demonstrates the Incoterm, especially this Incoterm is CPT in this case, and is the expedition starting, as I said here, the transportation as was made in Germany. So I presume our supplier was located in Germany basically. So and then it demonstrates the quantity and then the units and the date of the delivery. So that's mainly what happened to me, and I presume if you have any questions regarding that, I will really happy to give more details about this. This experience was costly, and this experience actually made me realize that if I really wanted to work in the supply chain, and I will answer to all of you here, yes, I want to work in the supply chain because it requires us to think, analyzing, bring solutions, make a traceability, and know how to use the system. And the mostly things, communicate with the internal people, the internal employees, and your colleagues within the organizations. And also remind you that it's about the profit of the organizations, and then always do your best. So thank you very much for your listening. For everyone who wishes to have any questions regarding these videos, I will be very pleased to answer your questions. And as I said, we have our YouTube channels, our Facebook, we are social media, we are in Student Union website where you can have much more information, and you can be also member to our group. Thank you very much, and I wish you a good day, and I'll see you later for the next video. Bye.